Hi, welcome to my channel, Love is the Answer. I'm Sammy. Today's video is part 1. It's an important topic and I've tried to capture lots of information in this video. It's complex, so let's begin. Do you want to know how to transcend negative energy, negative emotions, and transmute it to love? If yes, this video helps you to understand why it occurs and offers you methods to assist with moving beyond it. During our life, we often create our own resistance. This may happen because we've suffered in some way. Often, pain is disguised by anger. Therefore, an angry person is really suffering. Regardless of the emotion though, if we've suffered a trauma in the past and we continue to suffer because of it, then we haven't healed. Negative thoughts, emotions may result in a bad day, or many bad days, or even months and years of suffering. They can be difficult to move beyond. And that's because the negative thoughts that we think are responsible for keeping us stuck. When we have a thought, be it perceived as negative or positive, it can easily gain momentum if we don't have control of our own mind. The momentum is powered by law of attraction. So law of attraction simply attracts things, thoughts and people of the same vibration. So when you have an unpleasant thought, if you sit with it, it will expand and grow to more of the same vibrational negative thoughts. Negative thoughts may arise because of experiences from the past. Our mind is complex, and a great deal of what occurs happens unconsciously. Parts of our mind work in opposition to one another. But don't fear, you can gain control of your mind by paying attention to what you think. So much of the images and thoughts of our mind just happen. These may often seem meaningless. With over 60,000 thoughts per day, it's easy to see why we believe our thoughts are happening to us, not by us. But there are many reasons that thoughts occur. They may be that we bombard the mind with meaningless, unconscious conditioning rubbish. Social media, TV, news and radio bombard us and condition us to be afraid. Just watch the TV and count how many insurance ads you see. There's insurance for car, for your house, for your pets, for your objects, your health, your eyes, your teeth, even for when you stop breathing, to benefit others. Then there's funeral packages for when the expenses arrive after you depart. There's insurance in case you injure yourself. There's insurance in case your guests injure themselves, etc., etc. Basically, we're conditioned to be very afraid. Once you've paid your insurances, you may need a good $5,000 to $10,000 just to ensure you are safe while living. This is just an example of one part of bombarding our mind with fear. Currently, if you watch TV or listen to the news, we are being conditioned to be afraid of the cost of living rising, which is an expense that can create a lot of fear. But as the law of attraction suggests, it's very easy then for people to become stuck in their negative thoughts that then gain momentum and increase the fear and their anxiety. But most of the thoughts that have arisen haven't actually happened yet. People with ongoing emotional distress are stuck in their thoughts that create their resistance that they want to escape from. Yes, the events that led them to suffer may be exceptionally difficult to accept, but to move away from the pain and suffering, acceptance is exactly what is required. When people remain stuck, they're unable to be present. They may have moments of presence, but for people with ongoing negative thoughts like depression, it means they are stuck thinking and propelling the negativity because they don't realize it is their own thoughts that keep them stuck, or they don't know how to stop thinking the thoughts. The thing with past trauma, negative thoughts, is that it's a memory. Most of the time, it's not still happening, but the memory is where the person's mind remains. They choose, although they wouldn't consider it a choice, but it is, to remain stuck in the past, living life through a memory that also they may identify with. Our identity means a lot to us because we're conditioned to believe our identity is important and can create a false, hierarchical type of perception about us. So for many, we attach our illness as well as our job status as part of our identity. How often do you hear people introduce themselves with their name, followed by their career or something that many people regard as significant or falsely self-worthy? Then how many times do you meet people and they, in a very short space of time, tell you they have cancer or some other debilitating, unwanted illness? It's because it's become part of their identity or story. They may receive reactions that their ego enjoys, and so unconsciously it remains because the reactions or responses are favourable to them. So the person stuck in their past with the negative thoughts running and expanding all day, thinking, why is this happening to me, possibly identifies with their mental state. They may believe their illness or condition is part of them because they don't believe or know how to move beyond it. Sadly, some will find comfort in it, as unconsciously it brings responses that are favourable to their ego. Change is unfamiliar, and we may believe we don't like change or have little faith in ourselves and think we can't do it. Can't do what? Can't begin to realise that here and right now there is life, there is love, there is beauty. What happened in the past can't be changed, but how you choose to live now can remove you from your memories. There is joy to be felt in the present moment, but the mind needs to be controlled, not controlling. So how do we gain control of our mind to transcend negative emotions and instead flow with life and love? There are many ways, and for most people, it won't be an instant fix, but it can be, if you choose it to be so. I appreciate that for most of us, we need it to become a work in progress because many negative thoughts are habitual, so we need to break some habits. For starters, to break a habit, they say you need to change something or think something or both for 21 days. When you've suffered, 21 days can seem too long away because you need it now. But think of how long your thoughts have been controlling you, possibly a very long time. So if you truly want change to happen, begin with optimism rather than pessimism. Be hopeful. Why couldn't it be possible? Anything is possible. So why shouldn't you do something different for a few weeks to see if a change occurs? Your ego will come out to play as you begin to consider changes. It will be obvious because it will create self-doubt, self-sabotage, and fear. Basically, it will do anything to prevent your freedom of overcoming your resistance. Ego lives in the past memories where blame, fear, hate, regret, and sadness can easily overtake our thoughts, especially when we live without consciousness of our own thoughts. That is to say, when we just let thoughts happen as it seems, rather than resetting and controlling our thoughts when unpleasant thoughts arise. Ego also lives in future thoughts. Here, ego likes to offer self-doubt, self-criticism, and fear. Ego may appear as a useful tool, but it's not. It's sneaky. It arrives unnoticed and quietly leads us away into dark corners of our mind. It seems its purpose is to prevent us knowing how beautiful life is in the present moment and preventing our essence to flow with love. The more you become aware of your thoughts, the more you can notice when ego takes over. It's always easy to notice ego in others, but it's easy to know when it's present in yourself. Whenever you think unpleasant thoughts, or get annoyed at others, or feel that someone is saying something that upsets you, this is your ego. Yes, even if someone says something hurtful, you don't have to let your emotions and thoughts react to their words or actions. Just don't take it on board. If you love and respect yourself, You will know your boundaries and you'll know your worth, and you will love yourself. So that brings me to my next point on transcending and transmuting negative energies, which will be in my next video, part 2. So please come back and listen. There's so much more to say. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave any comments below, and if you've got any questions, feel free. Thank you for listening.